This is Malice Smack Talk. We are here. We're about to start up the show. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some of the big news that happened this last week and talk about our favorite WrestleMania moments or matches, whatever comes up to mind. So please join us tonight. Get on Twitch if you're not on it already and join in the chat. And we're about to get rolling here.
Getting ready to seize your first opportunity to come into the ring and start grandstanding and hot dogging, yeah!
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it.
Welcome to WrestleMania. Welcome to Malice Smack Talk. We're like the match number 22 of WrestleMania 35. And tonight we are talking everything wrestling. I'm your host, Masonic Vader. With me tonight is always Mindfreak.
What's up, everybody? And it's the road to WrestleMania. I like how you try to throw in a WrestleMania promo when that's still like 11 days away. But,
Hey. Ronda Rousey gets her promos out every week, too. So that's whatever.
Easy for the guy who takes about 4 weeks off a month. All right. And then the other gentleman that's with us, like always, is a Bearded Master. How you doing, the guru?
I am doing fantastic. I'm ready to go. Long day at work. And now it's time to talk wrestling on the road to WrestleMania as we enter the final week, the last stretch. Here we go, the best week of the year.
Hell yes, I agree, and I applaud you guys on your choice of shirts to this week, especially yours there, Master. I love the Bret Hart shirt. That's a perfect week, man. So hey, we are here live on Twitch. First of all, before we jump in everything, thank you very much to Malice Corp for letting us to do the show tonight, as every week. We appreciate them. Make sure that you check out the site itself. Check out all the cool casts they have on there. And, of course, check out their main cast Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And check out All Things Nerd. You can also find all of our old podcasts on there as well. And, of course, if you're watching or listening to us on whatever service it is, please take a minute to like us, rate us, subscribe us, review us, do everything you can except anything that's illegal and might get you 15 years. So thank you very much. We appreciate you listening. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, lots of energy, and let's get this thing moving. Big week before WrestleMania. A lot of WWE, if anything, this year has been throwing out a lot of curveballs at the last minute, more than normal.
What's a better way to start opening, not before opening day, than throwing some curveballs out there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go Padres. Yeah.
They're going to get beat by them. Unfortunately, I don't care how much they pay Manny, they're still not going to beat the Giants tomorrow.
Oh, man. Hell yeah. Baseball season, WrestleMania, man, everything's going right in the world, dude. Yeah, so we had some big stuff happen. I guess we should just cut to right to the case, dude. I mean, I'm just as dumbfounded as I was told over the messenger earlier. Last night, we got a new Smackdown Women's Champion in Charlotte, giving it to her Flair. Yeah,
people don't believe me. I mean, people want to talk crap about Roman. I'm a Roman guy. I get it. But at the end of the day, I understand what they're saying. They said the same thing about Cena. They said the same thing about Dwayne. You know, Charlotte Flair is the female equivalent to John Cena and Roman Reigns. It's just absolutely ridiculous. 8 championships reigns in 4 years. We haven't even hit the 4-year mark yet.
No,
like, seriously?
4, I believe 4 years.
No, this summer. They came in the summer. That's when the first draft was. The first draft was July of 2016.
Okay, 3 years and 8 months.
So, given that, the way she's going, she's going to end up passing up Ric Flair for the most amount of title reigns.
Next year.
Yeah.
She's gonna win and lose it every month.
Mindfreak, what was your thoughts when you saw it, dude?
I'm just like,
He was happy. He's a Charlotte Flair fan,
No,
man.
I'm not.
He's a Flair-a-night.
Oh God, shut up.
Hashtag Flair-a-night.
Wow. Bearded one out here creating new hashtags for no reason. No,
Hey, I'll make it famous.
That's because I can't create hashtags, so he does
Yeah.
it for me. There,
Yeah, we noticed.
Buster.
Two shows last week, and you couldn't even make up one hashtag.
Yep. So we're talking about Mindfreak's feelings and thoughts on.
I apologize.
Here, you know, it's whatever. Brush it off. No, I'm pissed. Like you give Asuka the title, and you do absolutely nothing with her. You had something great there in setting up a storyline WrestleMania match between her and Mandy Rose, who I think is more deserving of a title than Charlotte, but last names carry big weight in WWE apparently. And I'm just fearful that they're just going to give the WrestleMania match to Charlotte and put both titles on her. Because that with that happening, and this with how much they're raving and pushing into the first female main event, it's a possibility that could happen. And I know we don't want to see it. I know the fans don't want to see it, but who knows?
I get you on that. Now here's what I thought of. At first I was like, dude, that is particularly strange that a week and a half before the main event, when you've got everyone. I mean, yeah, granted, Asuka's been hanging around doing waiting to see who her championship match was supposed to be with WrestleMania. But then something crossed my mind. It gave me the idea of saying, okay, Charlotte's more than likely now going to have 2 title championship fights on WrestleMania, because you can't just have a championship not around. It's either that or they merge them, which they're not going to do that. So then this might open up the possibility of someone just coming in out of nowhere, an NXT bring up, a signing that's quiet, something like that, to where they can come in and challenge Charlotte, win the belt WrestleMania night. I mean, that's something that could happen.
You're not going to have Charlotte fight in 2 matches on WrestleMania night when you have the main event of WrestleMania being a triple threat match. There's no way that's going to happen.
It has happened before, and the way they got away with it is that the first match, i.e. the SmackDown Championship match, is literally 5 minutes or less because of the shock and awe value of who's coming out.
Well, but then at the same time of it too, then you're just if you're doing it that way, you're going to devalue everything that you've built up in the first ever women's main event in the triple threat. If you do it that way, you're just going to devalue it that much by doing something like that.
No, I'm going to jump in and disagree right off the bat, because it's SmackDown Championship belt, the Women's Championship belt is completely separate from this main title. It's not taking her out of it. It's just I'm
not saying taking her out of it, but you'll devalue the so-called shock and awe factor of what's going to happen.
Well, Bearded,
you're really quiet. Let's hear your thoughts.
I got a question. Are you more upset that Charlotte has the belt or that Asuka lost the belt?
Me?
Either one of you. Both.
Go for it. Yeah, you're about to go in there.
I'm 50-50. I'm upset that Asuka lost the belt and they gave it to Charlotte.
Okay. Vader, are you more upset that she lost the belt or that Charlotte won the belt?
I'm more upset that Charlotte won it. And the reason why I say that is because they're taking the main match, and I get what you're saying, Mindfreak. They're taking the main match. What they're now announcing is saying, the man, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte going for the belt, right? They're taking a little bit away from that by now throwing in the whole thing that Charlotte is now champion.
Okay.
So now there's endless possibilities.
So now let's look at it this way. We have 2 champions and the man in this match, the Royal Rumble winner, and essentially the one who's carrying this story. Given Ronda brings the crowd, Becky Lynch maintains it. What I see happening here is I feel like if you give we don't know the stipulation yet. We don't know if it's just for the Raw title. We don't know if it's for combined unification, whatever it may be. Or there's 2 matches in one now. But when you look at it, what I think they're doing is I feel like they're bringing the SmackDown title into it so that they're elevating the women's division. When you showed the SmackDown match or the Raw tag women's match, and you have a SmackDown title, and it's kind of pre-card toss up. One of 10 women might fight for it. Nobody knows what's going on. We've seen it less than we've seen Brock Lesnar. What the hell's going on with it? You kind of got to figure out what they're going to do, because if they have the women's match headline WrestleMania for the first time ever, and there's 2 titles, and one of them is a throwaway title, and one of them's the Raw Women's title. I think by bringing Charlotte in as the champion, one, you're going to elevate both titles. You're going to elevate the entire women's division. Secondly, when Becky Lynch beats their ass, she's now beaten both women's championships, carried away the Raw Women's Championship, which when we look at it, when it comes down to it, with the exception of the tag team titles, Raw has the main titles. Let's just be honest with that. Also, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Asuka. And if they took the title off her this close to WrestleMania, I have a feeling there's something else going on they haven't brought up or talked about or mentioned yet. Here's the thing. We've seen her, have we even seen, I don't think we've seen her in a match since Royal Rumble against Becky Lynch. So, and she went a whole month and a half without even being on the card in the first place. So I feel there might be something deeper going on there. She might actually, this is all speculation and rumors, so don't take it for, just take it for what it's worth. She might be injured, and they might have said, you know what, we're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to draw out the number 1 contendership, see what happens, see who's going to fight you, and as we get closer, we'll go from there. We're a week away. What if she is injured and she can't be cleared to fight? What are they supposed to do now? Not do anything with the title? Put it up open for grab and let it happen? If she's injured and can't fight, then the best option is to put that strap on Charlotte Flair. Let them go into that match and headline WrestleMania. Given we have 1 day, one week left, something else can come about, something else could be talked about and discussed. There could be another swerve happen in the next 5 days. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm just curious to more on the Asuka side, is there something deeper, which is why we haven't seen her as much and why the actions took place this week.
Yeah, Asuka seemed a little off when you watched that match.
Except for when Kofi won and she was smiles at the end of the match. I mean, that was kind of odd. She just lost her belt and now she's smiling. But whatever.
Yeah, she's the back. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff about that. But yeah, during the match, she did not seem her normal self. She was definitely off a little bit. I do agree there is something deeper with Asuka going on, that if she's injured too much and she can't give a good quality match for the championship itself for WrestleMania, because obviously that's where you got to bring your A game, because every match has to be solid. I still want to say that there's a good potential that someone's going to get involved that we don't know about. I don't know what it is yet, because WrestleMania is a good way to do it, and what a perfect way to bring somebody in that either A, has been signed and we haven't seen, B, that's been brought up and hasn't done anything, potentially Lacey Evans. Or just like I said, randoms, random person. I mean, we've got NXT happening that weekend. God, you got Ronda Rousey. I mean, there could be the potential of the 4 horsewomen starting to have their feud between the two. There's so many different things you could do. This one last minute curve has made it just, I don't know. You could pick whatever way you want to go, and every way could be perfect. It's quite different from WWE. So we're hopefully in the next week we'll find out. Hopefully Asuka's not injured. Hopefully she's not talking about going somewhere else, because I think Asuka has found a niche with WWE as far as a good fan base. But now they got to figure out what to actually do with her, because they've done nothing with her since she's had the belt. No one could really compete with her. So anything else? I mean, Mindfreak, anything else, like any other scenarios you think that could come from this women's championship thing happening?
The only other thing that I can think of is, if you're doing it this way, then, like Bearded once said, have, Ronda winning the Royal Rumble, or not Ronda, Becky winning the Royal Rumble, have her going in as the only person without a title, beat both of them, walk away Raw Women's title, then you kind of set up the feud. Okay, well, I have the Raw Women's title because I beat both of you, and both you guys are champions, and move her to Raw, and then that kind of sets her and sets up a storyline, champion, possibly leading all the way through to Survivor Series between Becky and Charlotte.
I can see that too. Absolutely, yeah. It's interesting.
Or this ends up being Charlotte with SmackDown, Becky with the Raw. They make up, and Boss and Hug retain, and now you got all 4 of them with the women's championships.
Yeah, and
I hope that's not what happens, but that's probably the most likely of the scenarios, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think this is possibly the foundation for that 4 horsewomen, that whole feud, that whole stable and everything. It just depends on what they're able to do with Rousey. If she wins, if she stays, if she decides to take some leave because she wants to make a family, whatever it is. There's so many different things going on. Hopefully if it is the foundation, they've got to start working and possibly working towards SummerSlam. And there's also other people you got to remember. We haven't seen Ember Moon in a while. Lacey Evans hasn't done anything.
Ember Moon's gone for a year.
What I missed that. What happened to Ember Moon?
She had surgery and everything.
Damn, I missed that one.
Yeah. It was I think during the Royal Rumble or something. Something with Alexa Bliss.
There you go. Well, and yeah, there's Alexa Bliss too. I mean, I know she's been injured, but it doesn't. I mean, she's been in some matches. She's showcasing her. She's hosting. She'll be there. So, but yeah, I mean, we got a week. We got a lot of things.
It was right before Elimination Chamber. She got injured, but she had to have surgery.
Okay.
On her elbow. So it was her elbow. So maybe not a year, but she's going to be out for a while, and it just happened a month and a half ago.
Gotcha. Okay. I missed that. Totally. I was wondering what was going on. Never asked you guys about it. Shoot. My bad, Bearded Master. My bad. So we got that. Now there's some other news kind of like on the side that we can kind of throw in here. We've got the situation. So you had some people announce some retirements this last week outside of wrestling. And there's already been some possibility of talk. I mean, we've talked about one person in particular. We mentioned this, I think it was about 6-7 months ago, Conor McGregor, making some possible tweets or hints that he might be seen there at WrestleMania. Also, Gronkowski potentially going to be showing up there. These guys both announced their retirements. What do you guys think? You think these are going to be some of the celebrities that show up for WrestleMania and potentially – I mean, Gronk's already done it before. Conor, I don't think has. Do you think this is going to be their way of jumping into the squared circle?
Well, I think they're both definitely coming over. And like I said in our production our conversation, Gronk night of, Conor night after. Reason being, Gronk has already been involved in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, helping Mojo out. Mojo, we don't know what the hell's going on with him, so I think him coming in and kind of helping him or whatever, but we already got celebrities in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal now. Might as well have somebody Gronk in there.
And essentially, if Gronk comes over,
I say celebrities loosely there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, essentially, too, if Gronk does come over, you can get Hype Bros 2.0 with Gronk and Mojo. Just saying.
No.
Oh, please don't. No. I mean, Gronk
Mojo and Zack Ryder didn't even want Mojo or Hype Bros Part 1. Like, we don't.
I do.
As far as Conor, when it comes to Conor for WrestleMania, there would only be one reason for Conor to show up, and that would be to come out with Becky Lynch. And I feel like when you have what's going on with that as being the main event and the women's main event, I think you need to have as little male involvement as possible. Even if Conor's there side by side, given that Travis Brown's going to be there, which I think that would be interesting to have him on one side and Conor hanging around on the other barrier. That would be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
But then you build the story of what happens between them, and you don't want that because that takes away from the girls.
Yep.
And you definitely don't want that. This is the first women's headlining match at a WrestleMania. You do as much as possible not to disturb or interject anything from outside sources in that match.
Yeah,
Unless,
but by the way,
I'm going to throw this out. Unless,
go for it.
I was just going to say, unless Connor does show up, but instead of being Ronda, was with Becky, because they're both Irish and that whatnot, just throwing that out there, country pride and all that shit,
Well, that's what we're saying. He'd come out with Becky Lynch.
No, you said Ronda. You said he came out with Ronda.
Travis Brown would come out with Ronda. And so you'd have Travis Brown on one side because of Ronda, and Connor on the other side already because of Becky.
You didn't say Becky. You just said on the other side. I didn't hear you say Becky.
I was already talking about him coming out with Becky because he would come out because of Becky. I guess I kind of implied.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's a little fun little tidbit going back to that really quick. WrestleMania did a great job promoting, or not WrestleMania, ESPN did a great job promoting that. I think it was yesterday morning when they had the 3 headliners on there. Have you guys seen the how ESPN kind of put them in their text and everything? So you've got what was it? Becky,
Charlotte.
Yeah, Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. Ronda, the first person elected in the UFC Hall of Fame. First woman, Becky Lynch. I can't recall. I think, she was the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, 2019. And then there's Charlotte Flair, daughter of Ric Flair. God, how can ESPN screw that up any more than that? I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, if you look at the tweets that came out after the announcement, it was like, oh, good job, good luck, Ronda and Becky, and the world's greatest female superstar, Charlotte Flair. Given that was from Daddy Flair. But, she's getting her love, and the other two are getting thrown in the bus like everyone else. So, hey, it's okay for ESPN to kind of flip the switch on her on that one. It's about time that that Charlotte gets the backlight and doesn't get showcased. I mean, you know how she is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? Isn't this great, though? Because 10 years ago, hell, even long. I mean, my time, which we'll be talking about later and stuff, but 10 years ago, man, this was just WWE and people talking about it on their emails and chats and Facebook and stuff like that. Now it's freaking on ESPN. It's a segment, and they're taking time away from it. That's how intense and how crazy it is nowadays for wrestling. That now ESPN, and I know they've been doing it now for about over a year and a half, 2 years when they got Coach over there and stuff, but it's still nice to see that there's that recognition of it, and them taking time out of it versus just the standard, basketball, football, all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool to see. I just thought that was kind of funny. That was the only thing they could give her, other than the fact that she's a 7-time champion and blah blah blah. So,
I mean, technically at that point she was an 8-time, but whatever.
Yeah, good point. Maybe they couldn't have up there that fast.
I mean, they could have said the first ever 8-time women's champion. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, first time ever. Now we got to give props to Pete. I wish he was in our chat room right now, because Pete gave us props, because next news of the week was the next Hall of Fame entrances. And as you can see by Bearded Master's shirt, go ahead and say something, sir.
Hart Foundation, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Hall of Fame.
Isn't that nice that we got the kudos? Because we mentioned this, about just under a month ago when they started talking Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned this like 3 months ago when he passed.
Yeah.
And then he came back up a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Absolutely. And when it comes down, here's the thing. And I know, this, when the Hart Foundation was going big, that was in the middle of your heyday. As far as, when you're watching the heaviest, because after that, that's kind of when you started kind of went away and then came back. So Hart Foundation was basically the core, or was tag team wrestling when you were the first round of you really watching wrestling, correct?
Dude, they were the quintessential team, man. They were it, man.
And they were the tag team when I started watching wrestling when I was a kid. Bret Hart was everywhere. The Anvil was everywhere, and it was a Hart Foundation. My only thing about this is the fact that you have the Hart Foundation. Personally, I feel like the entire faction should be getting brought in, not just the tag team. Everybody, British Bulldog, Owen Hart, Pillman. I mean, they all should be coming in at this time. Again, if it's going to be the Hart Foundation, it needs to be the Hart Foundation. Each one of them is a Hall of Famer by the factions. I mean, they're bringing in DX faction. Why not bring in Hart Foundation?
Here's what I would say. And I guess this comes from how long you've been watching it, kind of thing. When you tell me Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil, Neidhart, that's all I think of. Now, granted, they did have Owen Hart, they had the Bulldog. I mean, they had a next level version of it, which I think was more created for the fact that there was so much discontent with Bret Hart, and he needed something to happen in case something did go wrong, which it did over time. But when you say Hart Foundation, that's the only two people I think of is Jim the Anvil, Neidhart, and Bret Hart. Not a single, no Brian Pillman, no Owen Hart, no other kind of Hart Foundation combinations came into my mind. It was just them two. It would be nice to have them there. By all means, please do. And like we talked about just around a month ago, Neidhart passed away, or when we were talking about it, Owen needs to be in the freaking Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. That would have been a nice way to get in there. And we still have time, I guess, in a sense that maybe they could tweak something. But that, I mean, unfortunately, that's what I thought of when they said the Hart Foundation. Those are the guys I think of, the originals.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think introduces them? And because it better be only one person.
I'd be Mouth of the South to me because he was there.
Exactly. That's who I think. It has to be the Mouth of the South. If it's anybody but Jimmy Hart, then it's a fail. And when I say anybody, yes, that even includes Natalya Neidhart.
And you know what? You mentioned this, and I agree with you. I really do hope that they do not ask Natalya to speak for her dad. No disrespect to her or anything like that. But
full disrespect. She's horrible on the mic.
I don't care about the mic. This is a totally different. Like, this isn't even supposed to be a mic.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's not as a promo. She's just horrible talking on the mic. Her facial expressions, her mannerisms. She's not good with the mic in hand and delivering words. And I think it'll devalue the Hall of Fame and the acceptance for her dad. And she's gonna be crying the whole time. I mean, the ovation she got at the end of the match was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mindfreak, get in on this, man.
Sorry.
Here we go.
I'm good.
The reason why I don't think they should have her on there is because it takes away from the actual Neidhart scenario itself. He earned it, not her. He earned it, and I think Bret the Hitman Hart could speak for him, or even have Jimmy, if they used him as the intro, could speak for him. But Natalya as a whole, she'll have her time. I know you guys are going to hate to hear this, but at one point or another, she will be in there as well. It'll be a long time. She'll
be there before Owen.
Unfortunately, yes. I hope they do not use her as a speaking point. I think, or a speaker. I think they should just be keeping the Bret Hitman Hart, because I'd rather hear from him and the guy who lived it versus the person who watched it from a family's point of view. And we know how the life of a wrestler is with their family and stuff. I'd rather just see the purity of it. So,
and from the rumors is that they're going to be changing the format a little bit. So maybe more like time speeches or whatever it may be. So it's not 6 hours like it was last year. And if that's the case, you give recognition. I don't even care. She can come out and accept it, with Bret, or even walk him out. But I think Bret needs to be the one that gives the speech and gets in, gets out, and then they go on to the next one.
Okay, so here's the first points for next week. I'm throwing it out there, okay? Because they haven't announced the lineup or any order or anything like that, correct? For Hall of Fame?
What's that?
They have not announced anything for who's the order of the Hall of Fame or anything like that, right?
Correct.
No. Okay, who is going to be the next two-time winner? Right now we have Bret the Hitman Hart, we have Shawn Michaels, and we have Booker T. Out of those three, who do you think is going to be the first one of the next two-timer? Who's it going to be?
Out of who?
So we have
He's essentially what he's saying is with the order, because you're going to have with these factions.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, who's gonna be the next two-timer?
Our Harlem Heat. It's gonna be Booker T. He'll be first before Jim or Brett, and then obviously DX going last.
Yeah.
Damn it! Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. I guess we won't get points in for that one. We're all picking the same.
Look at you trying to weasel some points out of this.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Essentially, if you want to go in the order, it goes by order, not necessarily order of who gets in the Hall of Fame. But you have to
order the entire card.
No, it goes on the order of like who was announced first. So essentially, if you think about it, the second two-timer in there is going to be Shawn Michaels with the regardless of the order. Regardless,
they don't do it that way. The first person they announce is the headliner. After that, they don't do it in they don't say next week and then they do it that order. The headliner's always
whoever they announce next week could be the first person to open it up.
By the way, nice glass there, sir.
I do what I can. You know how it is. Realest dude in the room. How you doing? Yeah, it comes with I'm not gonna lie. It comes with a matching set, and the other one does have the cheater print. I left that one in the cupboard.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So
over there.
What's that?
I said somebody got the sauce over there. You got the sauce? You got the sauce, Marty?
Oh, you know how it is. It was a long day at work.
So congratulations to the Hart Foundation. Well deserved. Definitely better than Tori Wilson. All right. So next bit of news, I'm gonna turn this over to Bearded Master because we have a new champion outside the WWE. Please give us the knowledge, sir.
We don't have a new champion outside WWE.
I thought you were mentioning that earlier.
No, we have a winner who's going to be headlining.
Thank you
for the championship.
Thank you for the correction.
This last week, we finally got the finale finish of the New Japan Cup. I was half right on the final. Tanahashi ended up losing to Sonata and facing Okada for the cup, and Okada won. So now Okada will be headlining G1 Supercard MSG next weekend against Jay Switchblade White for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. A headlining match upon what truly will be a super card. If there's any way, I mean, you can go on to IW or NewJapanWorld.com. You can. They have every week they put the matches up there. You can go to Access TV. They have New Japan on the weekly. They have New Japan Pro Wrestling broadcasting at all times. Then they've actually gotten a lot quicker reactions compared to where they were before. So they do have those matches on there. Definitely in a match. I mean, the Okada versus Ospreay match, Ibushi Naito, Ibushi Sabre Jr. Hell, if you just follow Zack Sabre Jr. all the way through, you'll find some great matches.
Hell yeah. That guy tore it up in the NXT tournament in the UK. He's awesome.
The dude is on fire because he's doing Ring of Honor, he's doing New Japan, and he's actually going to have a pretty big match at Supercard. Hell, might as well just get into it now. Supercard, going to be phenomenal. Just to kind of give you an idea, Ospreay's, who is the New Japan Never Openweight champion, will be fighting Jeff Cobb, the Ring of Honor TV championship, in a winner-takes-all. Roosh will be fighting Dalton Castle in a singles match, which is probably going to be the down match of the card, which is ridiculous because Roosh is phenomenal. Mayu Iwatani versus Kelly Klein. Hopefully, Kelly Klein's getting her women's world championship back. Bully Ray, as we all know, Bully Ray is going to be fighting in a New York street fight. Hopefully, his final wrestling match ever, because the dude needs to leave Ring of Honor and let them do their thing and quit being, well, as his name says, bully. They haven't announced who his competitor or his fighter's going to be, but I feel like it's probably going to be Flip Gordon, since Gordon's coming back from an injury, and they have a pretty big history. This essentially would be like their third big match to finish it off, and what way to finish it off than in a New York Street match. Ishimori versus Dragon Lee and Bandito in a junior heavyweight championship match, triple threat. That's going to be fantastic. Zack Sabre Jr., we just talked about, is actually – this is kind of frustrating. A lot of these matches were named in a couple days, within the last few days. Tanahashi just lost the IWGP title like a month ago.
Hey, before just jumping in really quick, I just want to say welcome to the chat, B4 Ben, and happy belated birthday. There you go. All right, man. Do your thing.
Oh, cool. On the 18th, hey, man, my birthday's on the 15th. Look at that. Zack Sabre Jr., Tanahashi, man, it's kind of frustrating me because he's taking him out of the championship match, putting him in the British Heavyweight Championship versus Zack Sabre Jr., which will be a great match. Naito putting up his IC title against Kota Ibushi. That's going to be a great match. Jay Lethal, Marty Scurll, Matt Taven, as I've already called it and said it will be a triple threat ladder match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. That match is going to be fantastic. And the only match on this card that can even go above that match is going to be the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Jay Switchblade White versus Kazuchika Okada. And their match at G1 Climax at the Cow Palace in July was, oh man, it was phenomenal. And the fact that Jay White beat him then, does Jay White retain? Does Okada revenge and get the revenge match? I don't know. It's going to be crazy. And then another winner takes all match, tag team championship, Ring of Honor, New Japan, was going to be Guerrillas of Destiny, who's Tama Tonga and Tangaloa versus Bill and Enterprise, who won the belts in the Briscoes like a week and a half ago. But now L.I.J., Evil and Sonata, and the Briscoe brothers are now interjected in a four-way winner-takes-all tag team match. As we're going to get into matches in a little bit, we talk about the triangle ladder match, the TLC matches between E&C, Hardys, and Dudleys. This matchup right here for double title. It can make those matches look like preschool matches because these guys are fantastic every time they're in the ring.
I've actually seen some of their highlights of their matches as I've been kind of looking out to it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They can definitely flip the switch and take that to a whole new level from what I've seen so far. And I'm hoping I can really get the ability to actually get to see those matches because, yeah, there's been a lot of hype, especially being the same weekend as WrestleMania. You said it's at MSG, so that's going to be Saturday night, I'm assuming, right? Or is it Sunday?
Saturday night, same time as the Hall of Fame. So I will not be watching Hall of Fame because I will be at MSG watching that instead.
I think the Hall of Fame, isn't it Friday night, though? Because they do NXT TakeOver Saturday night.
Wow, you were really out of it. They actually moved NXT because they didn't want to compete with G1 Supercard. NXT is now Friday night, and Hall of Fame is on Saturday night.
Yeah, man. Hooked on Phonics did not work for me this last week. All right.
No.
God damn it.
Obviously not.
Oh,
when is it ever for you?
Oh, there you go. Hey, welcome back, buddy. You've been gone for a month. All right.
No, you were here last week. That's a deal.
Yeah, I was here last week, and I was gone for sickness and shit, so don't do that. I was on the shelf, bro. I was on the shelf.
You were hanging with Coach and don't lie.
No, I was on the shelf for 2 weeks, bro. Half the place wasn't working, man. Come on now.
Oh, man. All right, so thank you for the heads up on that. Yeah, please watch. Try to get to watch this match. Like I said, we try to promote all the wrestling matches out there, just not WWE. So and that goes for myself as well. I'm hoping to be able to see those because there's been a lot of positive hype and like I mentioned before, man, Kota Ibushi's my kid's favorite wrestler. So man, I got to try to. I got to own up and stock up on watching some of that video, man. So we've got WrestleMania coming around here pretty soon. I do believe there's one more piece of news I want to get to today before we jumped into it. While we're getting ready to think about that and everything, if you're joining us in the chat or if you're listening, join us on Twitch because we're going to be talking about getting ready for WrestleMania, and we're going to be talking about some of our what we consider our favorite WrestleMania moments or matches. Take a second to jump in and you can let us know on the Twitch chat. You can follow us, obviously, and listen and make comments on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to. Thanks again for Malice Corp for allowing us to jump on here. Once again, it's malice-corp.com. check out the website there. You can see all of our past casts, and also you can see all the other shows. Right now they're into the, I think, third week. Next week on Monday night at 8 p.m. for the Walking Dead cast. And that's Pacific Standard Time. Also to go with the main cast Friday night, Pacific Standard Time on Twitch. So please check out the site, check out all the fun stuff. And like I mentioned just earlier, make sure you check us out wherever you're listening or watching us. Like us, subscribe us, comment us, share us. Please do everything you can to help us out as we're getting things moving and grooving here. So WrestleMania,
moving and grooving, almost like wine and dining.
styling and profiling.
Derek couldn't even continue with that. Come on, bro.
Woo!
Whoa! Big news. You said there was another big news. There was a big return this week on SmackDown. Did either of you guys see it?
What did I miss? I saw it, but what did I miss?
Oh man, Derek, you didn't notice it either?
No.
Hot damn! I figured if anyone knows, you would notice. It was the return of the Good Brothers. Gallows and Anderson were part of the Gauntlet match. They were back on WWE.
That's right, dude. I can't believe that slipped my mind, dude. I was watching. I was like,
poor little Carl got beat pretty damn quick, but
yeah,
they were back on TV.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, that might be the last time we see him for a while. Damn it.
TV rights.
Yep. But that was actually the last piece of news that we finally got. Kofi Kingston has earned his spot to WWE, and he will be facing Daniel Bryan. He earned it last. He earned it last week and the week before, but then the New Day went and solidified it.
I mean, he did lose to Bryan.
Oh, you mean after they added him in after the Gauntlet match was practically good?
I mean, you know.
Oh
man, dude, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how he got in. Some bitch is in, and that's all that matters. The fact And here's the thing, you know, we look at the storyline, and every week it's talking about, oh, this is a racial storyline. This is race driven. This is Vince doesn't like, you know, African Americans. Vince doesn't like blacks. Whatever it might be. I never thought that was it one bit. The entire time, I've always felt it was the B players that they were talking about, that they weren't really talking about. And if you still think that, then you obviously were watching TV, because on Tuesday night, Vince came out and was like, Kofi is still a B player and always will be. You guys are B player level tag teams. They're the longest reigning tag team champions in history. Yeah, he called them a B player tag team. Like, are you joking right now? So
yeah,
obviously,
man.
The entire thing was to make you think it was one thing, and obviously it wasn't. But no, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I do think that we're still in for one more swerve or one more thing to happen come Tuesday night. It just, who knows what's going to happen. I don't think Vince is happy. He didn't seem happy at the end of it. He did say Kofi's going to WrestleMania. He did end it by saying, but can a B-level player like Kofi win the championship? I do think that we still have one more thing coming for us, and it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen on Tuesday night.
I concur. I concur. It was good to see, though. And you know what? The Gauntlet match, as I don't know if you want to call it, I don't want to say predictable, but let's just say deja vu. What the hell? It was still a good match, and I liked the Gauntlet they ran. It was good to see the Good Brothers. It was.
I'm not gonna lie, watching Kofi. If Kofi wins that championship at WrestleMania, Bearded Master might be hiding his eyes behind his beard, because I guarantee I might spread one. One might just drip down a little, because last night it was like, oh man, that was touching. Even though the count out win was lame as hell.
Yeah, that by the way, that table is not that heavy. We've seen it flip over many times, right?
Yeah, dude. I was like, no.
Oh my gosh, Biggie's lifting it up with all his muscle. It's like,
yeah, did he sell it or what, dude? He sold it.
Byron
Saxton can come around and lift that thing up. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, he's laying down there. Rowan's laying there. He's like, it reminded me of that scene from freaking Austin Powers. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! It just took forever from the. He sold it too much. He sold it too much. So, but that was awesome to see. It's good to see that Kofi finally got it. Congratulations to him. Well, hopefully, like you said, there might be one more swerve, but I can tell you right now, man, that was a big pop the minute that match happened, man. The minute when that 3 count went, it was cool to see that. And then at the end, everyone coming out and saying
10 count.
Oh, 10 count, Jimmy. And then everyone coming out at the end and giving the kudos. I'm going to get up and cheer. Yeah, Brian Saxton, good job.
I don't know how Derek can get off the mic and go into the ring and then show up here to record live tonight.
Oh,
I know. Magic. It was a wrestling podcast, so you guys ever see Leonard Kenny? Ninja does.
Nice. So I thought the way we'd end this show off tonight is we take a couple minutes, we start getting the WrestleMania mode, because next week it's our prediction show, and the way it's going, if you're going to be watching our cast, you better bring a whole 6-pack of beer, potentially some no-dos, because with so many damn matches we're going to be talking about, man, this is going to be a big cast. But I thought this week we'd start off by talking about WrestleMania, kind of get the flavor going, the last thing we talk about, and then we'll go into it next week. And what I wanted you guys to talk about are your favorite WrestleMania either matches or moments, some things that just kind of pop up. It could be 1 or 2 of them, because we got about 11 minutes to fill here. We got it. But I wanted you guys just to talk about your stuff. I can tell you I'm already giving you my answer just by the shirt I'm wearing. My favorite WrestleMania moment was literally watching WrestleMania, the first one ever. I watched it with my family. I was in military housing. My dad was in the Navy. I had a bunch of my friends over. There was even some weird-ass show. Like, it was a weird setup because I remember we watched Top Gun on pay-per-view, and then there was some movie that came on right before it. I don't even know. I was trying to look up for the name for it. But it was some weird-ass wrestling movie where I just remember some dude's head got kicked off in the middle of the ring or something like that. It was crazy. It was a stupid wrestling movie that they played right before WrestleMania. And then you watch WrestleMania, and you got Mr. T and Hulk Hogan going against Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton. And let me tell you, man, that right there, Roddy Piper, that was Roddy Piper at his dirtiest, man, his ugliest. It was awesome. The WrestleMania as a whole was a whole big show. You had Muhammad Ali as a special referee. You had Liberace coming out with the Rockettes. I mean, there was so much stuff going on. And you had Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain and Jesse Ventura doing the commentary. And it was amazing to see the actual first WrestleMania. And now we're talking about next week, WrestleMania 35.
Could you see, could you even tell that he was wearing yellow and red trunks through the black and white TV?
Oh, you're funny. Oh, you're so funny.
I do what I can.
I will say, though, we did a channel like this, dude, to get to it on the box, man.
That's cool. I mean, WrestleMania 1, I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't born until right before WrestleMania 3 happened. So.
But it was awesome.
Which is why, me coming into the world and then WrestleMania 3 having arguably one of the greatest not only just matches, but WrestleMania matches and moments ever in Savage and Steamboat happened. Yes. My goodness. I watched that earlier today, and as much as I love that match, I forgot about the finish of that match with George the Animal Steel and
turnbuckle
and the weak ass rollover that Steamboat got on Randy. It was like this amazing, phenomenal, absolutely fantastic, balls to the wall, metal to the floor, or you just pedal the metal, just full on match. Ended such a weak ass roll up, and it was like, really,
dude. To their defense, though, man, when you watch that match, good God, dude, that was probably one of the most that a good match. Like, they put everything into it. They were done. That roll up was pretty much the last in their tank right there, man. It's watching that. That's also a favorite moment of mine in WrestleMania. But that match itself was just it was the bar at the time, man.
Mindfreak, what's your favorite match, dude, or some of your favorite matches?
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, and the reason I remember this match is because it's a fantastic match during.
I like the Miz versus John Cena at WrestleMania.
You know what? No. I know. It's okay, bro. No, I remember this one because I was 13 years old, and this was my birthday present for my parents because that's all I wanted.
Was this like WrestleMania 30?
WrestleMania 19. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So Rock Austin number 3 is your favorite match?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Stone Cold.
I was 13 years old, dude.
No, that's cool.
Like of it, Go ahead, talk crap.
No,
crap talk. So that's one of my top 7 matches. 13. Because I know WrestleMania was when I was 13. What WrestleMania was on when you were 13, Ken?
Well, let's see here. That would be
He's
WrestleMania.
He's like WrestleMania 1.
No. That would be because I was 10 at that time. So that would be WrestleMania 3, I guess, or 4.
Oh,
yeah, 3. Yeah.
So my 13th birthday was WrestleMania 2000, and 2 of my favorite matches are from that card. But no, that was in here in Anaheim. I remember when I was a kid, like my grandparents taking me out all day shopping for my birthday, like just take me out, bought me everything I wanted, whatever. But they knew they had to get me home because that was WrestleMania day. It was Sunday, it was WrestleMania, and I remember it had to be DirecTV. They had an all day long WrestleMania, so they were airing from WrestleMania 1 through WrestleMania 15. Right to lead up until WrestleMania 2000. I literally had like VHS tapes, which are irrelevant now because we all have the network. But I have VA. My dad was home, and because I wasn't going to be there until right before 2000 started, he was popping tapes in all day long to make sure I had the entire collection of WrestleMania on VHS. Which, like I said, is irrelevant because they're all now on every single device I have wherever I go, which is crazy the way things are, 13 or 19 years later. But no, that was fantastic. So you said, Rock and Austin, that would have been just a regular singles match. No title that match. It was, I believe, a no DQ. And that was the first time The Rock beat Austin at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Absolutely. My favorite match was actually Austin versus Rock number 2 at WrestleMania 17. It was returning Steve Austin. I remember the whole thing. Royal Rumble. He won the Royal Rumble winner that year. And obviously, Austin's my number 1 wrestler of all time. He came back finally from all his injuries. He was returning. I remember Royal Rumble that year. He was my pick to win it all. Came in and won it all. And then he went to WrestleMania. And it was like The Rock was a champion finally because obviously, Hunter was gone. And so he was the face of the company finally. And then Austin's back and it's like, I'm taking my belt back. This is me. This is my company. And he did. And the match was fantastic. I loved it. Personally, I thought it was a better match than the WrestleMania 15. It was fantastic.
Overall, my favorite moment was seeing the original one and stuff because obviously, ranking. I agree with you though, man. When it comes down to it, Stone Cold to me has been my favorite wrestler out of all the eras combined, just because the connection that Stone Cold had with the fan base. I think he was truly the first. Exactly. Don't do it. Don't do it. He was the first one.
What?
I'm sorry.
He was the first. No, I was kidding. He was the first one to actually, he wasn't forced. He wasn't something that was like, say your prayers, eat your vitamins kind of thing. He was
Well,
actually the one that actually met the
I
blue
mean-
collar, you know?
I'm going to drink a big glass of milk.
And then there's that, yeah. I'm looking now. One of the things that when I'm going through the matches and everything like that, I looked at some of the if you go and research and everything, the one list that I thought was pretty freaking cool was one that they that Bleacher Report did. No sponsor. I don't know if you saw. They did top 20. I'm just going to run through it really quick and see what you thought. Your
All right, hold on.
thinking process.
You're gonna run through the matches or moments?
Just going to run through the matches.
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, let me just throw out my top 7 because I want to see how many of my top 7 or 6 are in there. All right,
Okay, go for it.
All right. So, in no particular order, obviously Rock Austin 17 is my number 1.
Yeah.
But then I have Rock and Austin 15, Brett and Austin at WrestleMania 13, Savage and Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, and then like I said, I have 2 from 2000. The first triangle ladder match that basically changed the game between ENC, Hardys, and Dudley Boys for the tag team championship. That match was phenomenal. It was a groundbreaker, and it led to so many better matches and so many things that happened. Let's put it this way, we have Money in the Bank matches now that ideally really got the kickoff because of what happened with TLC. We have a pay-per-view because of this. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then WrestleMania 2000 is a match that doesn't really get talked about a lot because of people surrounding the match. There was a triple threat match for 2 titles, Intercontinental Championship, European Championship, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit. Kurt Angle walked in with both titles, walked out with neither without being pinned with either belt. So Benoit won the first pin, IC Championship, by pinning Jericho. Jericho won the second title with European by beating Chris Benoit. Kurt Angle wasn't even in the ring for it. But the match, I mean, when you look at the match, you have Angle, Benoit, and Jericho. Those truly are 3 of the best wrestling technicians to ever enter the squared circle. And when you have all 3 of them in a match fighting for 2 titles at once, man, that match was so awesome. And if it wasn't for the tragedy with Benoit, that match, I guarantee you, would be talked about and showcased a lot more than it really is.
Well, that's why
it is.
That's why we're here, because absolutely, yeah, that is one of the better matches, absolutely. Hey, you got some of your favorite 5, your top 5, Mindfreak?
I had to think about it for a second. I'm tired.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm running on.
So I'm not going to give you any of mine because of the fact that I've already seen the list, but I can tell you that at least 3 of them were in the top 10. It wasn't the top 1 though. So number 20, which I think is hilarious, is just kind of tells you what kind of quality matches we have. Is Edge versus Mick Foley with the burning table. So that's number 20. That's at WrestleMania. Gosh, I wish I could remember what WrestleMania that was.
Isn't that like Mick Foley's like last match?
I believe so, and I think it was just a hardcore match. It was 2006.
Yeah, I believe that was his retirement match.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and then number 19, you got Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Let's see here. Yeah, Hogan Ultimate Warrior, the 1991. Number 18, Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon. Deal with the Devil match. Number 17 was Shawn Michaels' retirement match, WrestleMania 26.
Versus The Undertaker?
Versus The Taker at number 17. Number 15 is WrestleMania 14. Excuse me, is that 14 or no? Yeah, that's 19. Excuse me. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. That was the one where Brock Lesnar did the superstar press
when he fucked that up.
Yeah, exactly. WrestleMania. All right, number 15 was WrestleMania 28, and that was the Undertaker Triple H match.
That was Triple H 101, right?
No, that was the last one.
Oh, that was 2. Okay.
Yeah, that was number 2.
Because they were at 27. That's right.
Yeah, number 14 was WrestleMania 23, and that was the Bobby Lashley match where it was the Billionaires match, where whoever lost it was the shaved head. That was with our
Bobby
number 4.
Lashley. It was Lashley and Umaga.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Umaga, that's right, yeah. Number 13 was the WrestleMania 24 match. That was the Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair's retirement match.
Rick's retirement, yeah.
That was actually in my top 10. They had it at 13. So number 12 was WrestleMania 21, and it was when Batista won the belt. It was the Next Generation match, they call it, which is actually a good call on that one. Number 11, you have the 3 icons where you had Stone Cold, The Rock, and Hulk Hogan. It wasn't necessarily a match.
That was a match. That was WrestleMania 31, right?
Yeah, no, WrestleMania 30. That was the kickoff for Flex. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's have. Was it number 11? Is that the number 11? No. What pick is this?
Oh, that was number 11. Yeah.
Number 11. So number 11 pick is a pick where Hulk Hogan jacked up the entire name of the whole or the building they're standing in. What do you call it? Superdome?
Yeah, they call it
Superdome. Oh God! Yeah, this was the top 20, and the guy didn't even get the name of the building right. But I get it. Because it's Hogan, Austin, and Rock.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, number 10, I think, was the first oh shit moment at WWE, and it was WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. And Ultimate Warrior winning the belt. Because at the time, he was the IC champ, but I think it was the first time that I recall that anyone had the IC and the heavyweight championship all at the same time. Am I correct on that, or am I missing that?
No, I believe so.
Yeah. And that was an oh shit moment for me because I know you guys were young and stuff. To see Hulk Hogan, who at that time I think was 3.5 years deep in a championship run, get beat, and it wasn't just get beat; he got beat. That match was probably, I think, it was 5 minutes at the most, and it was getting gorilla pressed and getting that stupid splash, and he loses his belt just like that. That was like, holy crap! That was an oh shit moment that I can still remember to this day. Number 9, WrestleMania 7, Shawn Michaels winning his first belt. That was in my top 10. This one actually ranked a little higher, but man, it's more of a moment versus anything, I guess. Was WrestleMania 10? This is number 8.
Owen? Is it Owen and Brett?
No, Benoit and Guerrero.
Benoit and Guerrero.
Yeah,
at WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
Benoit wasn't even in the WWE at WrestleMania 10. Neither was Guerrero.
Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong WrestleMania 20. Excuse me, WrestleMania 20. My bad. I was looking at 5s. I was looking at 10, thinking 5. Sorry. Yeah, WrestleMania 20 when Chris Benoit won the belt.
Okay.
And then Guerrero came out at the end and stuff. That was cool. Number 7, WrestleMania 7. Macho Man wins his belt or wins his match, and then Miss Elizabeth comes back. That I got the ladies back into it.
That was when Sensational Sherry was in his corner, right?
Yep. And then she turned on him, and Elizabeth came out and just out of the stands and just started smacking on him, and then they got her back just like that. WrestleMania.
Elizabeth, will you marry me?
Elizabeth. All right, here we go. It's number 6. I actually thought this was number 5 to me. And we already mentioned it already, WrestleMania 18, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely. That's a definitely a big match. Absolutely. Yeah. Not even for the quality of match, because the quality of match wasn't a high quality match. And but the impact of that match, like the fact that they're standing there in was it they weren't in Toronto, were they? No, because WrestleMania 18 was in Toronto.
No, that is 18.
No, that's Toronto. Yeah, they're in, yeah. So the fact that they were standing there in the center of that ring, and just the whole, like, when you talk about a square up and just a stare down, has become the epitome of it. The standing ovation, the crowd, the roar, the fact that they waited like 2 minutes before they even had a match, just siding each other up because of the noise. Like when we talk about having a face off in the ring, that's what we're looking for. You know, every time we're talking about having that big match moment in the ring, face to face with this person versus that person, that's what we want. And that's what we got. And it was that moment right there. The match isn't one of the greatest matches ever, but that moment can easily go down as one of the biggest moments ever. Not just WrestleMania, ever.
Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock.
Also, Steve Austin beat Razor Ramon.
All right, number 5. And yeah, this is definitely in the top 5. WrestleMania 14, and that would be Stone Cold winning his belt with Mike Tyson as the special guest referee.
Oh, that's right, Sean. That's right.
Yeah, that was actually the first. I think that was the first major pay-per-view that they had that actually flipped the Monday Night Wars too. I think that was the big one that finally put it in WWE's favor at that point. Was having Stone Cold win the belt.
Well, yeah, but that following year, right? And the Mick Foley thing happened that fall because the belt was going back and forth between Mick and Austin and Rock until WrestleMania 15 happened.
Yep. And then you've got number 4. I mentioned this, the birth of WrestleMania 1 itself, the main event, Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orton. Dude, just everybody that was there, man. I mean, I forgot there was Cyndi Lauper that was there too. They had a bunch of big-time names that first one. So number 3, WrestleMania 30 comes back, and guess what it is?
WrestleMania what?
WrestleMania
Daniel
30.
Bryan. No, it's the Undertaker. Really? The Undertaker losing the streak is number 3?
Number 3.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yep, number 3. All right, 2 more to go. We're almost there. Almost there.
If Hogan and Andre is number 1, I'm disconnecting my headset and I'm walking out.
So number 2, what do you think it is?
Number 2, it has to be. Here's what's crazy, because there's no Daniel Bryan winning the titles in this, and that's ridiculous.
No.
I don't know what direction it's going to go. It has to be Hogan, Andre, and Brett and Shawn and Austin. Those have to be the 2 moments.
Okay, so what do you think is number 2?
Because it's Bleacher Report, I'm saying it's probably going to be Austin Hart in number 2 and Hogan Andre number 1 because it's Bleacher Report. Bullshit report.
Yeah. All right, Marty, Mindfreak, what do you think?
I'm gonna say the same.
And that's our cast for Malice Cast tonight, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, you can follow me at Red on my shoulder, Mindfreak MLG. You can follow me.
You can find me nowhere because I'm disconnecting and I'm going to go on a tirade in a little bit. Against Bleacher Report.
I concur. They should have switched. You are
was
right.
It? Oh my God! Seriously, right. That was when I was 2-1.
Number 2, and then Hogan, Andre were number 1. And here's my thing. I think Stone Cold and Hart were good at number 2. Okay, they even could have been number 1. But you are right. I think Daniel Bryan's championship win should have been number 1.
Here's the thing. Hogan Andre wasn't even the biggest thing to happen on that card.
You know what it was, man?
It was because that was the first icon versus icon, and for what it meant for wrestling, as far as Hogan taking the torch literally from Andre. I get it, but we talked about earlier. Oh my God, that match was so bad because Andre couldn't even stand up.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I mean, I will tell you this, though, and look at it like this, dude. If you haven't seen the Andre 30 for 30 documentary from ESPN, first of all, you're not a true wrestling fan. Or HBO, excuse me. You're not a true wrestling fan. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. And then when you look at that, you'll have a little bit more respect, I guess, for that match, because I remember watching that match, and it was rough to watch. It wasn't even it was Andre throwing punches. It was Andre giving a shoulder block. It was Andre doing a bear hug for a short period of time, and it was Andre gripping the ropes. But now it was Andre doing all that because Andre could barely walk at that point. And so watch that if you haven't seen it, watch it, and then have more respect for the match. But I concur. It's definitely not the number one match, but you are right. That's the reason why it is. It was because it was that first major turning point in wrestling entertainment. It was the standard barrier for what.
And not to fully crap on Bleacher Report, because obviously they're doing big things and they got a website and TV shows and radio shows, and we're here doing a podcast. But this list is a mixture of moments and matches. And you said that it was, what was the name of the top? What was the headline of the match? Or the list?
The number one match?
No. What was the name of the list that they put together?
Oh, my apologies. It was supposed to be actually top matches, but they actually threw some moments in there.
See, so that's why I bring this up, is that here they are talking about top matches, top 20 matches in WrestleMania history, yet they didn't just talk about matches, and they talk about moments, because Andre versus Hogan is a moment, not a match. Hogan versus Rock is a moment, not a match.
You know what? I apologize. I'm going to defend and retract a part of my statement. They did rank it as moments. I got it confused. They did have moments. My apologies. I mixed it with the prior list I was looking at. Wow. This one had a little bit of content to it.
Hooked on Phonics strikes again.
Yeah,
we need to hire an official stat boy. So if you guys want to be an official stat boy of Malice Corp Smack Talk, by all means, add us, at me, whatever it might be. Come and join the chat room. We will get an official stat boy for Masonic Vader.
Thank you.
You can be the Virgil to his $1 million man.
I got this is the producer. I gotta chime in for a couple things really quick. But the moments factor of Andre and Hulk is because it was the David and Goliath moment. It was that first big
David versus Goliath. I'm pretty sure David was a midget.
That's what a lot of people call it.
This was Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yes, I know. This is that they called it David because when he's looking up to him, just the height factor.
He was like 3 inches taller than him.
It doesn't look like that on screen, but the whole thing about that is what you bring up about Bleacher Report having all that stuff. They gotta be worried about those little small companies coming up like Malice Corp. So we are the Hulk Hogan right now.
Yes.
And lastly, get some better glasses, Masonic. That's the last thing I gotta say. Just get some better glasses to read the things better.
Thank you. I concur.
Yeah, I just had to come in and throw some Smackdown.
Hey, I could take it like a champ, just like anyone else. Thank you very much. But yeah, hey guys, so thank you for joining us. Please, when you're following or watching us and putting your comments in, please tell us what your favorite moment or match was of WrestleMania. Tell them how much Masonic Vader.
And I gotta make a stat boy correction on myself. Apparently Andre's like a whole foot taller than Hogan. So,
so if you're looking to be a stat boy for Bearded One too, please at me and I'll get you guys the application for that.
Well, they would, but you never hear to respond to it, so they can't really send it to you either.
Hey, you know what happened too, man? Is his stat boy, a hand would come out of his beard and hold up a card.
That's what it was. He was the strand of hair with the knowledge for Hogan.
Doesn't have a chin under his beard. It's only another fist. Marty's the same way. He says a stat card.
The strand of hair that had the information on Hogan. Andre must have got pulled out earlier or something. So
it was that one gray hair. Huh?
I left my business. I left my body, and I no longer retain that information.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those little strands, as you can see, growing right there.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mindfreak, other than what they could see over this shoulder, because I'm pointing at it now because I figured it out after I don't know how long. Where else can we follow you?
We're about to hit our year, man. We're about to hit our year.
I know, dude.
Oh, man, that is right.
I'm not going to lie. I think next week is our year because we started WrestleMania.
I thought we started after WrestleMania.
Was it right after WrestleMania? Why you got first? Calm down, stat boy. Hey, Tony Regali. Relax.
Why you gotta go Saxton on us?
I apologize. I don't know what happened.
All right, go for it, dude. Where can we find you or follow you and watch you?
You guys can follow me right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BTB Mindfreak. coming at you guys with high octane gaming content. I haven't been streaming for the last couple weeks, obviously, because I've been on the shelf face injury. But hopefully, within the next week, streaming cycle, schedule, all that will be continuing. And as right over my shoulder, follow me at Twitter at MindFreakMLG.
Nice. Bearded Master.
I'm trying to look at this real quick.
Uh-oh.
And it says we have shows all the way back in February or January. Oh, never mind. That's wrong. Never mind. That's not right. That's incorrect.
Once again, if you want to be a stat boy for a Bearded Master.
Anyways, you can find me both Instagram and Twitter. A Bearded Master, as well as Boot to the Face. That's Boot #2 the Face on Twitter. Shameless plug, not gonna lie. For the next 3 days, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Boot to the Face, and you can get one of the merchandising shirts that are there. We got a second shirt just dropped about 2 weeks ago. Code word B2TF. You can get 20% off the shirts. Not only that, don't tell Pro Wrestling Tees, but input that code and you can actually get 20% off any t-shirt off Pro Wrestling Tees out of any of the different stores that are on there. Support local wrestling or podcasts and small streamers. They don't just have us on there, but they have all the wrestlers that are non-WWE. They even have WWE performers and wrestlers on there. So if you have a Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're a fan, you can get Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can get legends on there. This shirt, Bret Hart, came from Pro Wrestling Tees. I know this sounds like a promotion, but it's not, for them at least. But yeah, you can find me, Boots to the Face, Bearded Master, always talking wrestling. Also, come Monday, it's WrestleMania T-shirt week, so please be wearing your WrestleMania T-shirts. Shout out your favorite wrestlers while you're wearing them. Hashtag WrestleMania T-shirt week.
Yes. Awesome. Yes, and you could follow Masonic Vader, as you can see on Twitter, PlayStation Network, Masonic Vader 71. And like I always like to tell you, please like our show, follow our show, share our show, put comments, whatever platform you're watching us on, please take a minute of your time to let us know how you feel, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're just building up our community base, and I like how we're sharing with Boot to the Face and other ones out there. We're all one big group just working together. So thank you guys so much for joining. Oh,
real quick to be stat boy here. Looking back, the first show we had was April 19th of last year.
So a week after WrestleMania, because I'm not going to lie, I was totally looking it up too.
Yeah, I know, right? Podcast.
Man, the 1 year show. Woo-wee.
Coming up. It's coming up.
Damn. All right, we made it. Oh,
that's gonna have to be a big show on there. We're gonna have to do something big for that one.
Yeah.
Hot
I got some news for you guys. Next week you're going to be canceled.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, it's been a great year.
Perfect, because I have to pack for New York City that night, so it looks like I got a free 2 hours now.
No,
New York City.
New York City.
Awesome. All right, guys. So, hey, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Thank you for joining the cast. We appreciate you all. And, of course, how we always like to finish our cast, we like to finish off with the 1, 2, 3. Yes. Quality. Good night.
We're back in.